Hi, and welcome to EEI's three-part series on credit and debt. Please watch the first two videos to have a better understanding on how credit and debt can affect you. Now that you are knowledgeable about credit and debt, we are going to finish the series by talking about ways in which you can avoid and get out of credit trouble. It is important that you know the signs of credit trouble. In our last video, we discussed the tendencies that lead to debt. Here are more signs that you may be in credit trouble. You may be in credit trouble if you are charging credit cards to the limit, if you do not know your total debt, if you have little to no savings, use cash advances, skip one bill to pay another, or avoid reading your credit card statements. These signs may mean that you are already on the path of credit trouble or may be at high risk if faced with an emergency situation. Do not worry, all is not lost. There are ways to stay out of credit card trouble. First off, if possible, try to pay off your entire credit card bill every month. When you leave a balance on your credit card, you'll be faced with interest charges, increasing the amount of debt that you owe. Use cash to make small purchases. It can be very easy to pull out your credit card for small purchases that you may make in the grocery store or gas station. However, these add up very quickly. Set aside money per week for these purchases or try to avoid them at all. In regards to your credit cards, you want to limit the number that you have and shop around for the credit card with the best term and rate. Remember, your credit score takes into account the number of credit cards that you have. Your credit utilization is 30% of your credit score and is your total debt divided by your total credit. So, for example, if your credit card limits total $5,000 and your credit card balances total $2,000, then your credit utilization is 40%. Ideally, your credit utilization should be less than 30%. Also, when lenders evaluate your loan application, they consider available credit as an opportunity for debt. They may figure your debt to income ratio as if your credit cards were totally maxed out to gauge you at your riskiest debt level. With that being said, you should shop around before making major purchases and watch your debt to income ratio. Finally, you should check your credit report periodically to stay up to date on what your creditors are saying about you. So what if you are already in debt and want to get out? Here are a few methods and habits that you should adopt to make this as easy for you as possible. Finally, we will talk about the debt snowball method as a way to get out of debt. If you are trying to get out of debt, the first thing you should do is limit your credit card use. If possible, you should stop using all of your credit cards. The goal is to develop healthy financial habits, which mean learning to delay your gratification and spending only what you have on things that you need. Although you may think a latte at your local cafe is a necessary part of your day, spending the extra money on something you want will severely limit your success on the road to financial well-being. Your budget will be your most important tool for getting out of debt. After paying yourself first, covering your expenses, you will use whatever extra income you have to get out of debt. Creating a budget will provide you with a visual representation of where your money is going. Once you have your budget in hand and a desire to get out of debt and to take control over your finances, talk to your creditors and let them know about your situation. Credit card issuers sometimes consider how long you've been a card holder, how often you've run into problems paying, how late your payments are, and how likely it is that you will pay the company back. Here are some alternatives to consider asking when negotiating with your creditors. You may ask them to wipe out missed payments and bring the account current, to eliminate part of the principal balance owed, reduce the interest rate in the monthly payment, refinance the loan, defer payment for a short time if you expect that your income will increase soon, reduce or drop late charges, pay only interest on the loan until you can resume making monthly payments, or to voluntarily surrender and give back an item that you purchased on credit. Finally, we will discuss the snowball method as a way to get out of debt. First, you want to list all of your debts in ascending order from the smallest balance to the largest. This is the method's most distinctive feature in that the order is determined by the amount owed, not the rate of interest charged. However, if two debts are very close in the amounts owed, then the debt with the higher interest rate will be moved above on the list. Then you want to commit to pay the minimum payment on every debt. Determine how much extra you can apply towards the smallest debt by using your budget. Pay the minimum payment plus the extra amount towards that smallest debt until it is paid off. Once the debt is paid in full, add the owed minimum payment plus any extra amount available from the first debt to the minimum payment on the second smallest debt, and apply the new sum to repaying the second smallest debt. Repeat until all of your debts are paid in full. Paying the little debts off first gives you quick feedback, and you are more likely to stay with the plan. When you start knocking off the easier debts, you will start to see results, and you will start to win in debt reduction. Getting out of debt means taking control of your financial life by digging deep and fixing the root of the problem. The key to financial freedom and independence is not an abundance of money. The real key to success is to have a plan for the money. By watching this video, this means that you are taking the right steps towards a healthy financial future.